Buenos días, estudiantes. Señor Spence is gone on vacation, so I am going to help you today with your math lesson. Not really.
It's me. Did I trick you? You thought I was someone else. Well, get off. Welcome. Lesson 52. Determining the equation of a line given 2 points. Okay, what do we need today? Homework paper. Something to take notes in, something to take notes with. What else do we need? Some of this stuff would be nice today. Graphing calculator. That'd be helpful. You're going to verify some stuff using your graphing calculator. And yeah, that should be it. That should be it for today. Okay, let's look at the screen really quickly here, the board. Let's talk about this. There are a few ways to draw an equation, but you need some information in order to do it. And you always need 2 pieces of information in order to graph a line. The first one we did back in lesson 49, which was using the slope and an intercept. Okay, so slope is determined by finding the change in y and the change in x as we read the graph from left to right, or the more formal equation y1 minus y2 over x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. And then, so that's our slope, and then our intercept is always 0.0 something. Okay, that was the b that went right there. Okay, that's one way to do it. Another way is that you just need 2 points. 2 points is enough for you to figure out what the slope is between those 2 points, and then there you go. You have the slope and 1 point. Or just at the last version here, you'd end up at this point where you have the slope and any point, because you have to know that line goes through that point at that slope. So that's something that we're going to look at today. It's called point-slope form. I'll give that to you. You'll write that down in your notes. You're going to use that when you get it to test and use it on your lesson. So actually today I got a brand new document camera. Thank you, Mr. Richter. And I'll be doing stuff on that, so you can watch me work on some graph paper, and we'll do example 1 for starters. You watch me do it, and then we'll talk about point-slope form and about what we do when we have 2 points. Okay, last there'll be some graphing to verify. I'll show you how to do that on the graphing calculator. So, are you ready? ¿Listo? All right, gracias. Vayamos. All right, here we are. Example 1 says that we have a slope of 4, and we have it that line goes through this point here, xy point 3, 5. So I'm going to give you some like step-by-step stuff here for this. First thing that you should do is you're going to want to plot your point. Second thing is you're going to follow the slope to another point. And thirdly, draw a line that goes through the 2 points. Point 1, find another point, draw a line through those 2 points. That's kind of the algorithm that I'm going to use to do this problem here today. So you can hit pause, you copy that down, and then here we go. Alrighty, plot the point first. Where is that point? It is at 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our point right there at 3, 5. And then secondly, a slope of 4 means actually 4 to 1. It's 4 up and 1 over. So from there, I guess we can go up 1, 2, 3, 4 and over 1. And there is our second point. Step 3, get out a straight edge and draw a line through the point. Okay, so there you go. You can take 2 bits of information, the slope and a point, point first, trace it out, find where the other point is, and draw a line through those 2 points. Example 1. Okay, now the next thing is this new form that we got here. New form is called point slope. Okay, so remember the slope in these equations, in the standard equation for these things is m. It's given the symbol m, and then we're given a point, and that will be termed x1, y1, x1, y1, and then here's the form for that: y minus the point y1 equals the slope times x minus x1. Okay, so the given information, the slope, is going to go right here, and then this point x1 goes right here, and y1 goes right there. Okay, so all I got to do is plug the information in, and then I got to change this into y equals mx plus b form so that I can graph this, graph it smoother. So our second example is, what is it? Oh, yeah, it has a slope of 3, or m equals 3, and then we have our point 2, 4. And so using the point slope method here, we're gonna just take our y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, and we'll just replace the stuff here. So m is 3. Put that right there. We have that x1 is 2. We don't change that negative sign and just plunk in a 2 right there. And that y1 is 4. Okay, so that would be it in its most basic point slope form. And then we do a little bit of math, and we'll finish it off, and we'll have it in mx plus b form. So I got to do the distributive property over here. 3 times x and 3 times negative 2. And then to get this in y equals form, I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So my finished version of this equation, y equals 3x minus 2. 3x minus 2. Now this is the slope, and here's our intercept. So I'm going to flip the page over here. I'm going to graph that one really quickly. 3x minus 2 looks like this. Minus 2. There's our intercept for starters. And then we go up 3 over 1, straight edge, draw a line, all done. All done with that. Okay, let's move on to the next example. Example 3 in the book gives you 2 points. And what we're going to do is, obviously, they don't ask you to just draw the graph, because that'd be super duper easy. We would just know about 2 points on that graph, but we wouldn't know the equation of that line. That's what is important here. We want to be able to write the equation of a line given 2 points. So we're going to use the information given to find the slope first. And they give us these 2 points right here, and we just need to make sure that we do our notation correctly. At this point here, we're gonna, since it's point 1, then it's going to be x1, y1, and this one here will be x2, y2. All we got to do is put these things in the right place into the slope formula, which was y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So you see those points right there. I'm just going to go, here's y2. y2 is 5. y1 is negative 3. x2 is 4. And x1 is 1. So there's our math problem. 5 minus negative 3 is 5 plus 3 is 8. And 4 minus 1 is 3. So there's our slope. And we could maybe start our equation out right now. Y equals 8/3 x. Okay? And now we can take either of those 2 points and plug it in. Now I'm going to plug that into that form we just used, and I'll show you what I've done here already on my sheet. Everybody see that okay? Give me a thumbs up if you can see it all right. Okay. So here we go. We're going to plug either of those points into the point slope form. If we plug in point 2, this is what happens. Point 2 was 4, 5, and then we work that out and solve it. And eventually I get that. You can hit pause at any point and write down all that stuff, but there's the work. Expansion and then moving the pieces around. Y equals 8/3 x minus 17/3. You could have plugged the other point in too. That's okay. It works both ways. In fact, why don't I go ahead and do that really quickly. So we got here our information thus far in point slope, or in point slope point, yeah, whatever, form. So there's my slope, and I'm going to plug in the number 1, -3, the point 1, -3 into the equation. So this is where the 1 goes, and right here, this is where the -3 goes. The rest is math. So this is y plus 3 equals, and they'll do the expansion over here, 8/3 x minus 8/3. And then we gotta subtract 3 from both sides and finish this out. 8/3 x. And then minus 3, that's 9/3. So negative 8/3 minus 9/3 is negative 17/3. See, that's the same thing that we got before. It's the same answer. Used a different point, but that's because those points are on that line with that slope. So let's go ahead and check that on the graphing calculator. I'm going to take that equation and type it into the y equals thing. Let's zoom in on this here. Okay, there's my equation, and typed it in correctly and graph it. And then all I have to do left is hit this trace button. And let's check it when x is 1. That was one of our points, was 1 something. What was that something? It was 1, -3. So once I've hit trace, I just type in 1. And let's see what it says y is. Y is -3, so that looks good. And then my other point was at 4, 5. So I'm going to type in what if x is 4 and hit enter, and it tells me that's where y equals 5. So we've confirmed that one, verified it, made sure that that the two things jive, the information we were given and the graph that we made. That's it for that one. If you've got any questions, leave a comment in the place below. You can text or email me. Just make sure that you get that work done on the paper. Okay, it's got little places for you to make graphs, or you can print off some of that graph paper and scan that, or email or mail that in to me, and I'll get that graded. Okay, on to the next one.